It's on me. Hey, everybody, Economic Ninja here. I hope you're doing great. If you can tell by what's behind me, we're going to be talking about electricity. We're going to be talking about copper. Why? Because not a lot of people are talking about copper. And I think it's very important that you know where copper is going. They used to call it Dr. Copper, the health of the economy. But guess what? It's no longer the health of the economy. It's because of geopolitical threats and sanctions that we are concerned with copper. So let me real quick, I'm going to share the screen. And we're going to talk about some stories. If I could find it, totally unprofessional, Ninja. Here we go. Right now, it's saying poll, copper due to hold at weak levels as market swings to a surplus. Now, you might not, Ninja, who cares? Copper's not going to change price, but it's actually sort of a big deal. It says right here, copper prices are expected to hold steady next year after sliding sharply in 2022. And this is a Reuters poll showed, as rising supply is balanced by tight inventories. All right, so stick with that. Now check this out. These are stories that literally came out yesterday, okay? This is in the news right now. And you need to figure out if copper is going to be going up and going down. How do you trade it? Do you go long? Do you go short? I'm going to put a link to a great course on teaching you how to control micro futures, the future price of copper, and be able to control a bunch of it at a much discounted price. Okay. Now check this out. Looming copper shortage could slow the global energy transition. It says right here, there is going to be a very significant shortage in copper. This is from Richard Atkinson, chairman and CEO at U.S. copper producer Freeport McMoran. I always screw that one up. McMoran, the world's largest listed copper miner. And he told the Financial Times, it says the decarbonization drive will increase the intensity of copper use globally. And this is very important for you to understand. And the reason why I say that is because, yes, everyone's trying to globally go green. We all know that that's going to have problems, like California saying, hey, everybody needs to have electric cars by 2030. And then next week, like, oh, don't charge those cars. We don't have the way to charge them. Think about that. So it's going to be a global race for copper, regardless of Dr. Copper, the health of the economy. Now, to dive into this right now, I'm going to talk about the futures, the micro futures, to be specific in copper. And I brought on Crypto Charts Joe. Joe, how are you doing?
Doing great. Great to be on here again. And if I could add to that, according to the U.S. Geological Survey, copper is the third most used industrial material out there. And to add to that, they used to measure it by, how many weeks of supply they had, 2 weeks of supply, inventory, 3 weeks, whatever. Now it's down to 4.9 days of supply. And, the who's who in the business are saying by the end of the year is going to be like 2.9 days of inventory time it's said and done. Wow. And then people, kind of forget about copper. You know what I'm saying? It's not the cool, trendy deal, but that's where money is made, is, the underlying things that people are watching. And over the next 20, 25 years, we're going to need the same amount of copper just to maintain growth as we use between 1900 and today. So 120 years worth of copper we're going to need over the next 20, 25 years.
That is a great segment into what we want to talk about. What are the futures telling us? And again, guys, I'm going to put a link to Joe's course. It's an amazing course, an amazing price for this level of knowledge, because being able to control a certain amount of a commodity is very important. Governments care about it right now. Central banks care about it. I think we should care about it, but we don't want to dive right in before we have knowledge. And Joe does a great job of not only showing you how to trade, buy and sell micro futures, especially like what we're going to talk about today in copper, but you also do technical analysis training in that too, correct?
Oh, very much. Matter of fact, over half the course is that. I mean, we can show you the fundamentals, get your foundation there regarding the micro futures, but this will take you to the next level. And even if you don't do the micro futures, crypto, metals, Forex, stocks, ETFs, all that's included.
That's a really good point. Even if you're not trading micro futures, just the portions of this course that teach you technical analysis and how to read charts and to see the trend lines and what the 200-day moving averages and all these other moving averages is, the cost of the course will literally save you money down the road, because you'll see the warning signs. So let's dive in. Joe, do you have a screen to share with us? And so let's talk about what's going on in the copper futures, the micro futures market.
Right. Here's a daily chart of the micro futures. And as you can see, we're pushing up pretty good today. the US dollar, a lot of this metals and everything is contingent on the US dollar. We believe it's, for the near term, is pretty much topped out and will be rolling over, which ought to give a little boost to our gold and silver and other metals. And then we go to the standard futures contract. And what I was going to show you just right quickly is
that's that dip, everybody, real quick, that they were talking about in 2022 for copper, just so everyone knows that steep drop in 2022.
Yeah. But the reason why I show this is that everybody goes, well, you never, markets never crash, and reason why I say that, because everybody goes, well, the market crashed, we didn't know about it. Well, we can go over here right before the sneeze forced everything down and sideways consolidation. We waited for that one candle to break. Sideways consolidation, 100% of the time, obviously it's going to break to the upside or downside. Sit on your hands, wait for the market to move and tell you which way it's going to go, and then follow it. Simple as that. Right through here, one simple trend line told you when you were going to break, retest, and then here we are today. But let me show you the kind of under the hood here. I'm going to show you my account. Let me go back up here and share this. And this is the current, standard futures contract. Okay. And it trades for one contract, you need $8,200 basically. Okay. And then we're going to slide down to.
And this is where micro futures for everybody that's watching really plays in, can really benefit.
Right, exactly. MH.
I see it. It's right. It's 2 down from the bottom. Micro futures for the copper.
Okay.
Oh, that's based in.
Here it is. Here it is. Yeah, 825. Yeah, there's
huge difference.
These things that you can play. Yeah, 825 to have a little bit of leverage in the game.
Yep.
For example, and then just as important regarding the futures, every single industry out there, company, small company, and industry brings me to like airlines hedge. You hear about it on the news all the time. Hedging fuels, stuff like that. And this is what it allows you to do. For example, oil right here. We believe oil is going to run up to, let me put my 200-day on there for you. We believe it's going to run up to the 200-day moving average around $97 to $100. If it is, the markets, that's another little tip I'll give everybody. The markets love whole round even numbers. Once you get past, like 25, 26, 27, high percentage, they run it up to 30 even. So if we hit 97 oil, they're going to run it to even 100. Okay. And then we expect it to pull back. So as it's going up, yeah, we're going to be long oil, and that's going to help me drive whatever I want to here in Texas, as far as taking those profits rolling into my gas tank. So if you're playing this, you're hedging things, it's not going to, affect you that much. And, here's the S&P 500. If you think it's going to keep going up, or the micro Dow, you can keep playing that. You might see from this chart a hint of where we think things are going. And then I know we're talking about copper, but same goes with silver and gold. Okay. And here we are on the micro silver futures, and we're doing pretty good. As you can see, we got in, back down in here on that, and that's moving good. And then also, if it starts going down, like gold has, well, for a few weeks back, sort of coming down. We simply went short. The only thing you do is just hit the sell button, boom, you're short. And, that way you're not worried about, losing too much on your gold, depending on where you bought in at. So you buy in anywhere, hold it, go long, go short. And another thing, people think of futures, and, it's Wall Street, it's JP Morgan, it's Goldman Sachs. that think, you got to have all this. They make it look like it's real hard, real difficult. You got to have
Yeah.
all this training, and that's not true.
No, it's so easy once you have the knowledge. I completely agree. They
exactly.
make it look difficult on purpose so you're paying their fees. But Joe, you teach them how easy this is to do it themselves.
Right, because no one cares more about your money than you do.
Yep.
Plus, I believe in generational wealth and passing that knowledge down.
Yep.
And and speaking of anyone out there personally, can control it, know how to hedge, and on the bullish side and bearish side, you can pass that down to your kids, grandkids, and that's really what it's all about.
Well, let's dive into copper. What are you seeing in copper's future here? What are the charts telling us?
Well, right now, we don't do anything until patience is a big deal. We want the market to work for us and us not work for the market. So we're waiting for a breakout of this little wedge formation. And as you can see here, the red dash line, not to get boring and real technical, but if you matter of fact, it got moved on me. But if you move it down, you can see, a high pivot zone. All these are resistance, these pivot zones.
Yep.
Resistance, even starting back here in July. Okay, so we're watching this range here, and we know when we finally get up here and consolidate and, put in a couple of 3 days above that 350, 360 area, that will, be good support, a good drive to the upside.
Now, real quick, I want to make a note, everybody. We are expecting the Federal Reserve to come out and spike rates again. They're going to continue to put the hurt in the hurt locker, put us in the hurt locker, and that would affect the dollar, right? Bring its strength.
Right. So here's the dollar if that is pulled up.
Yep.
And here's a trend line. No little tip I'll give people. Most times when you hit a trend line, either support or resistance. This is support, obviously. Third time you'll bounce. Fourth time or fifth you'll break it. We have broken it.
Yep.
And as you can see here, I put that green line up several days ago. Man, I'm giving away all my stuff here. But anyway, it's the 50% zone between the high and the low. And see how the dollar today has come up, even with all the talk and everything going on, it has been spot on.
Yeah.
Where it's hit, and now we're getting rejected. And if the dollar cannot get over the 50% zone of this leg up, and this is true for, hey, crypto, ETF, stocks, whatever, on this leg, if it can't get over there within a short period of time, it's going to roll over to the downside. Plus, we have the 20 simple day moving averages blue line up there. It's got to get over, and this uptrend line. So a lot of times you just roll up here, hit it, and roll to the downside.
Yeah, and that's what I'm expecting. The Federal Reserve watches this too like a hawk, everybody, and they know that they're could be coming up against resistance. And this this interest rate increase this week may bring the dollar, could bring it up to 113, but it's hitting resistance. And so going back to that copper chart, where you're seeing that descending or that wedge, it's got to make a decision. It's going to break to the upside or the downside, but I wouldn't be surprised in this next weekly candle if you saw a red candle, but again, staying with that trend line. So I believe that you're going to see lower, weaker dollar in the next 6 months to a year, which would be more bullish for the commodity price in of itself. Correct, Joe?
Right. And then also, when the as things wear out, because nothing happens commercially or on the residential market, without copper being used, and everything you can think of. That's why they, like you alluded to, a lot of people don't know that. So I'm impressed that you called it Dr. Copper, because that's, the old time traders. And so that's what they used to call it, because, it measured the pulse of the market and how well we were doing, the economy, basically.
Yeah, and it does have an effect still to this day, but it's changing drastically because of geopolitical threats that threaten supply chains around the world. And not every country produces copper. People need to understand that. However, every country needs copper. Well, hey, in closing, Joe, is there anything you'd like to close on? I'm going to put a link to the course below. Guys, this is why I talked Joe into starting this course, because I've learned a lot from him over the years, and I thought he needs to bring this information. It's not just about microfutures. Really look at the technical analysis side of this course, and you're going to save yourself a lot of heartache in the future. But Joe, in closing, what would you like to close with?
Oh, I appreciate being here. I enjoy, as you know, I could talk about this all day, all night. So appreciate that. If people want to check out my track record over on Twitter, I put a few things out there, not too much, or my little YouTube channel to kind of, as a resume, kind of what we do, how we do. And it's all about, honestly, all this, we're both fat and happy. This is for the kids and
Yeah.
grandkids, be honest with you,
Yep.
because it is a battle. It's one thing to make it, but it's another thing to keep it.
Yeah.
And that's what the struggle is. Well, not the struggle. That's what the challenge is nowadays. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, hey, thank you so much, Joe, for coming on and talking about being fat and happy. I need to get out to Texas and go wakeboarding with you on your boat.
Okay.
As long as you're a better driver than Johnny Bravo and we don't wreck the boat, we'll be good.
Oh no! I guarantee you'll be all right.
Right on. Cool. With that being said, guys, you are in safe hands with Joe. He's an amazing teacher. Check out the link to the course below. I really highly suggest it. You need to be emboldened, but also prepared with battle gear. And that battle gear is knowledge right now. Don't go trading without understanding what's going on. It's not about emotions. All right, guys, that being said, the Economic Ninja is out.